We are live, I think. Let's check. We should be. Or are we still hosting? Wait. Just want to get an advert on my own channel. Oh, wait. Wait, there we go. Yeah, we are live. Hit us up on the...
While
hit us up on a TLDR.
all
Mr.
right,
Saga.
boys, what's going on?
What?
What up?
What do you mean, what up?
How we doing? How we doing?
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
Great.
These nerds are
So,
playing D&D.
so this is what we're gonna do, right? Ew! Don't be atting us like that. Come on. Uh, we're waiting on Kieran to get back because for some reason he just randomly disappeared. So in the meantime, let's. Oh, that wasn't Kieran. Wow. So in the meantime, let's do a little intro. So this is the first stream, but the second game session of our D&D for the University of Salford Esports Society. It's a homebrew world that I've made myself. Just bear with me a second. Yeah, homebrew world that I made myself. Rules are going to be kind of secondary. Things might change on the fly, so don't get too much of a rules lawyer on us, Kieran. We've got a few people who have never played before,
Me.
so mostly Kieran.
Me.
I mean, Kieran's definitely played before. One we're talking about Morgan and Dylan. Dylan's
Dylan's
not
not
here
here.
with us today. He's got some filming that he needs to do. But what we're just gonna do, just give you a quick rundown of what we missed because we did play a session last week, but unfortunately we didn't stream it. So, the party that we have right now, we have Kieran. He's playing a half-orc paladin by the name of Sturdent Lighthand. Dylan's playing a tiefling warlock known as Shivazzle. Questionable.
Shavaz.
I can't wait for you to say my name.
And Joe will be our resident halfling wizard, Barry Buttersworth. Classic bit of Barry. And Morgan, he's going to be playing a homebrew class. He's playing Charlie Carmichael, the Gunslinger. So that's going to be fun. See how that goes. The gang met last week in Creekwood, in the middle of the Wayward Forest, a large wooded realm to the west of the island. Pretty popular little village. A lot of people come through trading on the way to Hardspire, and it's a pretty friendly enough town. There's a lot of people there. They spend a lot of time in the tavern. And as they were relaxing in the Water's Gift, the Tavern of Creekwood, they noticed that their good friend Al, the dwarven blacksmith in the city, was missing. And he came storming into the tavern with some distressing news. His daughter Chloe had gone missing from her bedroom. So they went to investigate. They searched the room for clues. Shut up, Morgan. You told me to do this. They searched the room for clues, and they found hints of a trail that led them in a southwesternly direction towards an ancient lost temple of a order of clerics and paladins by the name of the Templar of Truth. So they started to set off that way in the hopes that they would find Chloe. And along the way, they encountered a few weird things. There was a fruit about the size of a watermelon that appeared to have eaten something quite recently, sort of humanoid in shape, but difficult to tell just from the bones. Later on, they came across a campsite that had been recently used, and as they were investigating, they found a body, small, definitely smaller than a human, and scaled like a lizard of sorts. But they were set upon by large, giant spiders that came out of the trees, spat webs at them, and tried to bite them all across the place. But they were able to dispatch of their adversaries. Hey, nice sub.
You're interrupting, for God's sake.
And then they took their moment to take a quick rest in the campsite, now that they had cleared it out of enemies. But not before Charlie snuck up on the sleeping student and put a rabbit's foot in his mouth to shut him up while he was snoring. So we squeeze on over.
Ooh.
So you can get rid of the spiders since they're no longer around. Everyone wakes up the next morning. You've had yourselves a good rest. It's nice. Still fairly early.
That's the sound my
Probably wake up
character
about-
makes when she wakes up.
Disgusting. You wake up probably about 6 or 7 a.m. Al has already got out of his bed or his tent and is putting on his armor and he's getting ready to set out. Sort of motions for all of you to start getting ready so you can move out as quickly as you possibly can.
I would like to add that my character is already awake because of morning rituals. Likes to pray in the sun.
Wolves get that? Is that a race?
No. It's character specific. My character
Yeah.
is a strong believer in the sun gods. So he.
So I remember.
Of course you are, you melt.
Really
He got up in the morning, like wonders why a rabbit's foot in his mouth. He's like choking on the fur. You know, some of it's probably slipped down his throat by this point, and it was in there all night. And I'm assuming when you guys get up, you see him, you know, like probably not around the trees, watching the sunset as it rises and praying. And also, do I get inspiration from my last session notes?
You do.
Yay.
Do I get inspiration for mine?
No. Mine were the only ones that were in depth.
What do you mean? Mine was so in-depth.
In depth by your standards, I suppose, yeah. But
I literally wrote the only thing worth noting down. Rabbit's foot.
So, as you've had a long rest, any spell slots that you've used, you get back. All of your hit points, you regain.
Sweet. Didn't lose any of those anyway, but
Lovely.
sweet.
Dylan definitely did.
Yeah. Had to save Dylan.
So, usefully enough, the two fellows who wear the heavy armor woke up first, so you don't have to stand around and wait for them to get all geared up.
Mm-hmm.
As everyone starts to get themselves ready, throw on their armor or their robes or whatever they have, and take a few munches out of the rations that you brought along with you. You start to take a look around the camp to see if there's any other signs of a trail that might indicate which direction the rest of these creatures disappeared off to. So if everyone could make survival checks, see if you can find any sort of trail.
Not very good at surviving, by the way.
Wait, where's survival?
4. You rolled a 2.
Oh hell yeah!
Okay. So, as most of you take a little look around, who drew a person down here? What is this?
It's Steve.
Who did this? Who did this? That's okay. Don't worry about it. You take a look around. Kieran, you get a little bit distracted, I guess, by the sun or whatever.
Yeah.
But as the rest of you take a little look around the campsite, stop putting Steve in fires, you freaks. You notice
Hey,
that
there you go.
where this little dead guy was from the bush, you can see that just further, heading into the trees in this direction, there is what looks like a scuff mark, maybe, in the dirt and the mud that looks as though something has been dragged down in the trees in that sort of direction.
Who is it that notices this? I'm assuming it's Buttersworth
all of us?
and maybe Morgan.
Yeah, sure, why not?
So can
Okay.
I?
Are you guys gonna let us know?
Well, I will.
Didn't roll on for
Hey
Al.
guys, there's some marks in the ground over here.
Oh wow, there's some marks on the ground. Let's go and
I'm gonna
investigate.
go and check it out. Can I roll perception?
What for?
The stuff on the ground.
Well, I mean, you can see them pretty clearly. They are definitely, as you get closer and take a bit of a look, you can see there's one fairly wide, thick, continuous line that disappears off into the trees.
Can I do a nature check, maybe?
And you
Just to
notice
see the
that,
creature, maybe.
well, you notice that along either side of the continuous trail, there is two separate little sets of small, almost human-ish footprints, but they look a little different. And as you turn around, you see the body of this guy. They look pretty similar to the little toes on this guy. The dead dude.
Cool. Okay. Hey Al, there's some footprints over here. I think we should take a look. It might help us find your daughter.
Al makes his way over. Hi. Looks like this might be the way. Alright. We all done here?
Absolutely. Let's get moving. And
Well,
me go first.
alright.
I use my orc language as often as possible.
Me go.
Me go first.
Me go first, me big boy. Okay.
Ruska.
So, as you start to head further southwest through the forest, the trees start to change a little bit. So far, they've been kind of tall, coniferous kind of plants, like the big, tall, almost like a Christmas tree, but bigger. And as they start to thin out a little bit here and become almost more like oak trees, a little more separate from one another. But as you start to travel, you get about maybe a mile or so away from the campsite. The ground starts to get a little squelchy. And as you're walking, your feet start to sink a little bit into the mud.
Are we entering a swamp type area?
It's not so much a
More boggy?
swamp, but it's definitely a little more saturated here. And
Damp. Is it more damp or?
yeah,
something like
it's
that?
it's not a full-on swamp, but there's definitely a lot more moisture in the ground here, and so sometimes as you step, little sort of splashes of brown mud come up to about your knees and start to soak you a little bit.
Hmm.
As you've been following this sort of trail, it's kind of patchy. You'll only see the continuous sort of line of where it looks like something's been dragged every now and then. Otherwise, you're just looking for other types of clues to see which direction they might have come in. But generally, if you just keep on a sort of southwesterly trail, you think you'll generally be heading in somewhat the right direction. As you start to make your way through this sort of marshy kind of area, everybody make perception checks for me.
Okay, no.
That wasn't my perception check, that's from earlier.
Do one for Shiv. Oh wow, pretty good.
Or
Okay. I'm also not the most perceptive person either.
Yeah.
So as you're
Me no see.
as you're strolling through this sort of marshy, soggy land, Kieran, you feel a little tap on your shoulder, and you turn around and you can see the hooded and horned figure of Shivazal standing next to you. And she turns and points and says, "Look over there."
So this is what Shivazal sounds like. Okay.
Yeah,
I guess I'm
don't
gonna
know-
take. I guess I'm gonna take a look over there and
Don't know
also
what-
ask.
what a Dylan voice sounds like.
The reason I'm assuming the reason she tapped me is because she's talking in Orcish.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'm also gonna reply in Orcish. So the other guys don't understand.
It's weird when she speaks in
what
Orcish
what
because
am I looking at?
well, Orcish is usually like a sort of guttural and hard language, but the way that she speaks it, it's almost like soft and lyrical, and it's really weird and
Seductive.
not quite, but it like throws you off a little bit because it takes
Barry
you a few seconds
Buttersworth
to
is
recognize it as actually Orcish, and you start to think like, what is she talking about? Oh, okay, but you get the picture that especially she's pointing, so it's useful. You take a look over at where she's pointing, and you can see that the trail of footprints that you've sort of been following has always sort of been headed in the same direction. But where she's pointing, there seems to be the trail of the same set of footprints that's heading off in sort of like a 90-degree angle off to the right-hand side of the way you're traveling.
Okay, so I'm going to inform the other guys that Shivazal has spotted this this awkward angle that the trail is like packed off to. Guys, hey you, guys, look at the footprints, and then I point in the direction that's obviously 90 degrees on like a weird right angle.
Barry, as you look over to the set of footprints that he's pointed out, you sort of take a glance, but you notice a little bit further, maybe 10 meters away from that set of footprints, there's another set that's heading back in the opposite direction of that set.
Okay. Are they going towards the camp?
Not quite. You're coming sort of southwest. The ones that Shivazal noticed were heading sort of northeast, and the ones that you've noticed... Wait, no, not northeast, because that would be back your way. They're going like northwest, and the ones that you've just spotted are coming like the opposite way from that one. So they're heading sort of southeast.
I will inform, what's Kieran's name again?
Sturdent.
I tap Sturdent on the shoulder and I point towards the other.
How can you tap on his
footsteps.
shoulder? You're tiny.
That's true. You'll tap on like his hips.
Okay, I tap on
You
his
slap
hips.
him on the butt.
Yeah.
Do it. Roll for arousal.
Yeah. Can I? I'm very. I'm very
let's
charismatic.
not.
so-
I'm fine with. I'm fine with.
All right, wait.
No. Shut the hell up.
Well, you do it
Slap him on the ass and impress him.
with the strength of his slap. Do a strength check.
Make a strength check. Yeah, go on.
A strength.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the strength of the slap.
But what about being charismatic?
No, it's the strength
No,
of the
you-
slap.
yeah,
This is
you
what
gotta-
orcs respect.
Right, you're trying to slap me. You're against my AC here. You ain't gonna win. Yeah, you did nothing.
Kieran, as you're sort of looking over the set of footprints that Shivazal pointed out, you hear a little ding come from sort of behind you, as though someone just slaps you with a pan in PUBG. And you're like, "Huh? What was that?" And you turn around and you can see Barry standing behind you.
I'm standing
He's
behind
sort
him,
of-
looking up, waving.
He's sort of massaging his palms, like, "Oh, ow."
I'm gonna say to him, "Are you okay there, little fella?"
I point to the footsteps. The ones going in the opposite direction.
Ah, I see. It's just a weird form of pointing. I understand.
Morgan, as the others have sort of wandered off in that direction to look at these footsteps, you've sort of stayed on the path that you were traveling with. And you notice that over on the opposite side from where they've gone, they all went to the right. And over on the left, you can see another trail of these footprints that sort of heads off to the left and then sort of curves back around and comes back on itself.
Okay. I'll follow the trail.
Okay. Make a survival check, Molly.
I shall. Oh hell
Okay.
yeah!
So as the others are off slapping each other on the booty and talking about waving techniques and whatever, you wander over to this trail of footprints and start to retrace the steps that these things have taken. You notice that there's two sets of footprints sort of walking next to each other. For you, you can essentially just put 1 foot on each set of footprints. It's about shoulder width apart for you. So you can follow it relatively easily. And it sort of winds and curves back on itself. You start heading sort of southeast and then curve back and go straight west, and then it turns up north and then heads east again, and then southwest and then northwest, and just it's going round and round in circles, and it takes you about 3 or 4 minutes before you walk along the set of footprints that leads you to the other group where they're still arguing about how to get someone's attention. They sort of stop and look over as you, not saying a word, looking at the ground, you just walk straight through the middle of them. And you sort of walk past, following the trail, curve around a tree and come back on the other set of footprints that they're all looking at. It seems that whatever it is that left this trail is lost and wandering in circles. Or maybe just covering their tracks. It's difficult to say, but they were definitely indirect. with the
How
path.
big are the footprints?
Probably about half the size of, let's say, what Kieran's would be. He's a pretty big orc.
Like a 6 foot.
So
So-
it wouldn't be a small girl.
No, they're different shapes. They're not sort of humanoid footprints. They have that same sort of almost bird-like sort of talons shape towards the end of it.
Okay.
So
Can I roll a nature check on the footprints?
Sure, go ahead. They look pretty similar to the body that you found at the campsite.
okay, can I ask further which set of footprints looks newer?
They're both pretty much the same. It looks as though they were walking side by side. There is still the sort of almost like single, quite wide line down the middle of them, as though they were dragging something behind them.
Are the footprints almost, well, can I tell by just taking a look if the footprints are basically exactly the same size?
There is very, very slight difference. One of them is maybe about an inch shorter than the other, and maybe a little bit less wide.
Okay. I'd probably suggest that we follow one set of the footprints, but I don't know which one is.
They're both
better
just
to
walking
follow.
side by side the entire way around.
Okay. So I'll probably suggest that we follow the footprints with me in lead.
So you carry on doing what Charlie had the idea of doing. So make a survival check if you're leading.
Mhm.
Al is starting to get a little bit flustered by the fact that everyone's just walking around in circles and no one seems to have an idea of the trail that they're following along. But Kieran, you follow the set of footprints, and then it gets to one point where it looks like they walked past this one point maybe 5 or 6 times, and each time they came from different directions and turned off in a different one. So you get a little confused and you can't tell which way they went from here, or maybe they went that way, or it all just seems to converge a little bit, and you can't tell which direction they went.
In trying to hide my own confusion, I'll point out that there are footprints here, and try and see what everybody else thinks about these sets of footprints. But, hey, footprints are over here. Take a look. Kind of demandingly, but not like aggressively demanding.
Al comes over. Everyone sort of gathers around, and you can all see this sort of conglomeration of just tons of different paths all leading the same way. Because it's free and royalty free. Shut up, Joe. Al comes over.
Making me nervous that something dumb's about to happen.
Yeah, I'm in lead. Of course it is.
Of course it is. Yeah, what do you mean? Al comes over and takes a look. How many paths is there? How many ways does it separate out?
About 5. There are 5 different directions in which the footprints went off in.
So we take one each, follow it along, see where it leads.
Should we be splitting up? I'm saying this in character, by the way. Should we really be splitting up?
Is anyone sneaky breaky like?
Taking a look at the.
I'll go on my own.
Make a perception check to see if anything's watching. So that's Barry and
the
Sterling.
crescendo. We're going.
Oh boy, here we go. I don't know. It's just a royalty-free playlist. Leave me alone. The
Is
two of
anything
you.
watching?
I'm like leaning back in my chair, like.
Oh, what happened? You take a look around. There is very occasional sounds of birdsong. Nothing much more, particularly nothing you can spot moving or watching you or anything.
Okay.
So, everyone on board with Al's suggestion?
Shall we do a group vote?
I'm not a huge fan of splitting everybody up, but
Of all of the paths that you followed, none of them really go more than 50 meters or so away from this point.
okay, all right.
Alright, that
So-
changes things.
I'm gonna suggest to everyone that maybe we do take each path, but if you spot anything, get back to this point,
Or blow the horn of
and there's also going to be like a decent amount of time. Like if we all separate, we all come back at and rendezvous at a specific point, and if nobody does, we all follow the trail that they followed and meet up with them. Those are what I suggest. Those are the sets of rules that I suggest if we all decide to split up. But I mean, nobody has to follow them.
Al sort of nods in agreement.
I agree.
We should take an item, something of ours, put it next to the trail we follow, so we know who took what trail. So if someone doesn't come back, we don't get into this mess again.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave a sensor on a. I'm assuming there's trees nearby, and near a tree that is following the direction in which I'm gonna go.
Al draws a small dagger out from his pouch and lays it on the floor next to a track. Shavazel reluctantly dips into her bag and takes out the carved off face of a small lizard and drops it next to her path. What do the other two of you leave?
I'm gonna leave. Not my primary smoking pipe, my secondary smoking pipe.
Okay.
All right.
Gotta keep the first one with you at all times. You never know when you need a smoke.
And Morgan, what are you going to drop?
something. Wait. What what are we dropping?
Oh my god.
Anything that you own that would make that we would know is yours, so that we can follow your path if you don't come back.
All right, I'll take out pages from my notebook as I go, as like a path.
Your little sketchbook.
Yeah.
Maybe the sketch that you drew
Of each person.
of Sturden losing the arm wrestle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's confusing because like, is Sturdent going that way, or is the person that drew it going that way?
Well, you didn't draw it, so.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. So each of you have selected a personal item of yours and dropped it next to your path. So everybody make a survival check
Mhm.
as you follow your respective paths.
Damn, I am rolling
Fuck.
good today.
Right. Okay. I trip, fall, and I die. End of.
Nah, you probably just don't find anything. I don't think following some footprints will kill you on a 3.
Do something real quick.
Rocks fall, you all die. You go.
Lame. Okay, so each of you follow your respective paths. A lot of you sort of turn back around trees and pass each other again around this same sort of area. Both Barry and Kieran, once you... Barry and Sturden, I guess. Once you leave the area for a little bit, but Barry, your trail sort of turns back and eventually does sort of wind its way back. Kieran, as you're following your path, you notice that there's another sort of smaller area where they start to do a little bit of winding. And as you're following the footsteps around there, you notice that on the trail, the 2 sets of footprints that you're following, the smaller set seems to vanish, just seemingly out of nowhere. And from there, the larger set and the thing that looks like it's been dragged behind turns off about 30 or 40 degrees and just heads in a perfectly straight direction.
Right.
And from there, it doesn't turn back.
Okay. So, abiding by the rules of which we'd already set out, I'm probably gonna put, I don't know. I'll set off a torch and leave it on a nearby tree, and then go straight back to where we all began.
By the time you get back, everyone else has sort of got back into the middle section where it all got all confusing, as everyone's just sort of shrugging and shaking their heads.
I pick up my pipe.
Yeah, you all pick up the items you left behind as well.
So guys, me see footprints in that direction. In that way, not in that direction. In that way, me see footprints in that way. So, follow me.
Okay.
You all seem a little bit like, well, we've all been seeing footprints, but I guess he's seen something, so you follow.
So we go back to where I left the torch and show them what seems strange about it, that the small footprints disappear here, and they walk in that direction. Maybe small one fly.
As you follow the straight line, after about 20 or 30 meters, the smaller pair of footprints reappears on the opposite side and continues off into the trees.
Okay. Guys, what do we do?
Well, for a start, if they can fly, we need to keep our eyes on the trees.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe somebody should go into the treetops to have a look.
I don't think any of us can fly.
Hard to move.
My point is, if you can get on the top of the trees, you can maybe spot something flying.
Hmm.
I will do it.
Who want climb tree?
I believe I'll be the most stealth-like.
I guess I'll. If he wants to get in the tree to take a look around, I'll help
Can
him
you
into
give me
the
a
tree.
boost?
Yeah.
All right. So you offer a boost to Barry. Barry, make an athletics check to see if you can climb the tree with
Now-
advantage because
My
you have,
athletics is -2.
you have a
Shouldn't it-
boost.
But you
shouldn't
got
it- Wait,
advantage.
shouldn't it? Wait, am I with you guys? I'm not with you guys, am I?
Hey,
Alright,
that's not bad. You are able to climb the tree with a nice shoulder boost from Sturden. You get about 30 or 40 feet up from the floor, and looking down, since you're a halfling, that's like double the height, so that's pretty dizzying to be up this high, but it doesn't take you long before you reach the top of the trees. You get a little bit of a clearer view out. You don't notice any flying creatures other than ones that you would normally expect. Maybe there's a couple of birds flying around. You almost put your foot in a nest once, but you sort of shimmy around it. But there's nothing that seems particularly out of place.
okay. Do I have to roll to come down? Or is
No,
it-
no, you can get down easily enough. You sort of have to drop a little bit off one of the bottom branches, but Sturden catches you again and just plops you back on the floor.
Hey. Thank you, Sturden.
No problem. So what'd you see?
Absolutely nothing.
Then
Apart from a couple of birds.
You-
probably flying. A little flying one
Oops.
stayed on ground.
Yes. Or is not in anywhere near here.
Oops.
Oops.
Whoopsie.
I
Right.
noticed a clearing in the trees to the south, though. We could maybe go there and see if there is anything out of the ordinary.
Is it in the same direction as footprints?
Vaguely, yeah.
Okay. We can go.
Okay. You lead off.
Sure. And I just travel in the general southern direction.
Okay. So, following vaguely the footsteps and just heading generally southwards, you're pretty good at figuring out where south is because you've spent a lot of the time studying the sun and staring at it. So, using its position through the trees, you can head fairly simply southwards. And before too long, the trees once again start to thin out a little bit as you come towards the edge of a
New screen.
clearing in the trees. Very, very dark new screen. So if you drop yourselves at the bottom of this screen for me.
Uh-huh.
Hey, new owl token though, guys. Owl looks very hench.
It's my HP again, I'm pretty sure it's 8.
Alright, so you're also gonna get Thingy-mabob.
I don't know why this didn't save, but it should have done.
Vajazzle.
Oh yeah. I'll do it.
Shivazzle, not
That's the
Vajazzle.
one.
Wait, that's the wrong one.
Zuka, that Faruka.
Oh god, that's something I haven't heard in a long time.
Alright, I think Joe, try deleting your character and dragging it back on. It should automatically add your health bar now.
It's there.
It's
I
got
see the
that.
health bar.
Yeah, I know, but it wasn't when you added it, so it should do it automatically now if you do that.
How do I take it off?
It's just a check.
Just press delete.
Press delete. Yeah.
Nope.
That's real weird. I don't like that.
Newt.
All right. Very strange, but just have to do it manually each time then, I guess. There you go. Okay, so you get to this clearing in the trees. It's probably about a little bit after midday by the time you make it here, so you have fairly good visibility across the clearing. You can see on the far side there's a little sort of cliff-like ridge type thing. On the outside of it, there's two torches that are stood up on the big wooden poles, and there seems to be some sort of small cave entrance between the two torches. On the outside of which you notice there's two small lizard-like creatures holding weapons and sort of leaning back against the wall. They're sort of trying to shield their eyes against the sunlight a little bit, and it looks like they're just chattering back and forth a little bit between each other. They don't seem to have noticed you.
How small are they?
They're probably a little bit shorter than you, maybe like between 2.5 and 3 feet tall. Stop drawing Steve, Morgan.
Steve is... No!
No Steve.
So,
Can I roll for depression?
things in cave.
Stop drawing anything.
That wasn't... that wasn't me! Someone's trying to frame me!
I think we surprise attack.
Are we sure they're hostile?
You are not.
How close can we get until they possibly attack us?
Depends how well you would roll on a stealth check.
It also
Alright,
depends what the vision
alright,
is.
I say, alright, this isn't me doing anything, this is just an idea. So, like, I get into a position where I can get a shot on this bloke, right? Because he's ranged, right? So, and Sturden would be, like, here in front of me. To basically, so I can poon that guy before these guys even reach us.
I have a problem with that. I'll show you why.
You're not very
That's
stealthy.
25 feet,
Yeah,
and we're also right out in the open.
This is about 10 feet tall as well. So he is like up a ridge from you, so he's actually above you there. So it is kind of difficult to try and find a shot from there.
What if
So we'll get back there.
what if we stealth along the tree lines?
well, we just get Barry's Buttersworth to come here and talk to them.
I mean, I can sneak
And then
anywhere because I'm a halfling.
We'll sneak over here, and then we'll get him to come and be like, "Yo, be all charismatic," 'cause we don't know if they're actually enemies. We're presuming.
I
it.
mean,
Yes. Wait,
And then
wait.
he
I mean,
he draws
if-
them out, and then we like if things go sour, we gank them.
here's a decent suggestion though. We believe that
Oops, didn't mean to press
trail. We see that trail, right? This
Yeah.
one here.
Why are you drawing it?
We assume
Can everyone just
that's the little girl, right?
Can everyone just use the select thing instead?
Yeah.
So I
God
can
damn it.
use hideous laughter on one of them and make them completely useless.
Mm.
I'd recommend you do that to the.
As a distraction,
The
that sounds
I,
like
s-
a good
I
idea.
say we use Barry's Buttersworth
Okay.
to
Wait,
bait
that's our music, but
to bait them out while we're off on the sides, and then we can flank in. What's-
I mean,
what's-
if you want me
what's-
to do that, I'll do
What's
that.
this?
But-
What's this here? What's this black bit here?
it's
The
difficult
tree.
to see from where you are, but it looks like a pile of rocks that's fallen over or something.
So
Ah.
so would he be able to get that lizard dude? Would he have a flank? Would he have a shot
You-
of us over
You
here?
don't
We
know.
Right.
Does
The pile of
what's in
rocks
his
isn't very
hand?
tall.
What's in his hand? Does it look like a short bow or a long bow?
You would be able to.
Do I just know
tell.
that it's a bow?
You using your egregiously large intellect and militaristic knowledge know that something this small, if it tried to fire a short bow, would probably just knock itself flying. Longbow would
Yeah.
probably end up firing itself rather than an arrow. So
Yeah.
it's most likely a short bow.
Short bow. Yeah.
Anyway, that's
Um,
my suggestion is the bait and switch because we don't actually know if they're like we might be able to just like charismatically fluke our way in. So I mean that guy got that lizard guy got murked. Like we can assume that it would be, but these people could just be like a coincidental thing. I mean, probably
I
not.
mean,
But
as far as I know, I have no idea what these things are.
so they could be friendly.
But
We
they
don't know.
did. But they did, as far as we are aware, drag a little girl into
Yeah,
a cave.
but we don't know that's a little girl. We can't see that trail there. We don't know that's a.
You can see the trail, you just don't know what caused it.
Yeah, but like we can't go right. That is a little girl being dragged there, like for certain. Like
You could make a pretty solid assumption that it probably is.
Is the little girl?
A little
alright, then fucking let's just run in and kill everything then.
Wait,
right.
Wait.
Stealth check. I'm going in.
Wait. All right, I'm leaving.
I've had enough.
Do
I'm
you
leaving.
want me to just go here? And
I feel
fucking
like the best way to do, rather than trying to sneak up, like if we just like if
Do
we
you want me to distract them? 'Cause
I feel
can
like if you
them
distract
pretty
them,
well.
then we can just come in and like insta-give one of them.
Right.
But they could also charge at me and just kill me.
Like if we land enough hits, like
Right. Screw it. We'll do it.
Right. So wait before anything. Can we? Are they saying anything?
They seem to be talking to each other, but you can't tell. They're too far away for you to pick anything up.
these are bushes, right?
Yes.
All right, can I go to the bush to try and get?
Make a stealth check if you want to try and move up. Everyone else, if you're going anywhere trying to sneak up somewhere, make stealth checks.
Yep. I guess I'm gonna.
Oh yeah!
I guess I'm gonna try to get to like.
I
this.
feel. Yeah,
Or-
you should be that one, so you can help Barry as soon as
So
possible.
I'll roll my.
So
I've gone to
Yeah.
here.
Bearing in mind if you have,
Oh no!
bearing in mind if you have heavy armor, you have disadvantage. Oh
Yeah.
boy, here we go.
What, stop me when they see me.
Okay. Oh whoops! I need to roll. Shiv.
okay, all right. Can I suggest something quick?
Fucking hell!
Barry, right? So if they see Sturdant, right? If Sturdant stays here, right? Because of the distance, they have to come towards him, right? Don't they?
You've already made your battle plan. Stop cheating.
I mean, these guys are probably. This guy's probably can shoot me anyway.
So as Charlie, you pretty confidently sneak up into that bush. They don't seem to pay any attention to you whatsoever.
Me no sneak.
The rest of you start to make your way around the trees. Jesus, even Al would have passed, but yikes.
Gotta get that passive perception.
As you make your way around, Sturdant, who's sort of keeping his eye on them, sort of bumps into a tree and knocks one of the branches off towards the bottom with a big sort of sound. And he sort of just instinctively stops still and like looks over. The two creatures that are sort of leaning against the cliff face itself, they don't seem to notice. They're still just chatting at each other. But the one on top of the cliff, who was sort of leaning back against the pile of rocks, he sort of looks up and starts to draw his bow, looking around.
Do I see
Okay.
this happening?
I'm gonna put my shield up and ready some blocks because I'm expecting
Do I
to get
see this?
shot.
Do I see this happening?
You're sort of keeping your eye on it,
So I see it happening.
pretty much.
Right. I'm gonna while he's drawing his bow back. I'm gonna use Hideous. Wait, does Hideous Laugh have the range? No,
No.
it doesn't. Fuck.
30 feet.
Sorry, Kieran.
It's fine. I'm just gonna like ready some blocks. Just gonna like
Wait, hang
Get
on.
ready to get hit, essentially. Because I'm expecting
other
it.
ones.
Because apparently I looked over and see this guy throwing his bow, and I'm like, ah, shit.
He's like drawn his bow. He's not like actively about to shoot anything yet. He's, as you sort of like looking over, he's still looking around. He's kind of looking towards you,
Hmm.
but not like directly at you.
Strafe, Kieran. Just go left, right, left, right, left, right. He'll never hit you. AD,
But-
AD.
That's not how this works.
Look,
Charlie, as you
that's
get-
how it works. Honest.
Charlie,
Right.
as you're getting a little closer, you hear one of them. You don't hear the words necessarily, but it makes a sound.
That's clicking noises.
And the other two, who are sort of, they're making quite similar noises at each other. They sort of look up at the one on the cliff and like,
Sounds like he's taking a dick to the mouth.
and then they pick up their own weapons and start sort of looking around the area as well.
Okay. So I haven't been spotted. Like by the way that they look like they're communicating, I guess I can assume that they don't know where I am, but they're gonna come and look for me.
Do like
They don't seem like they're moving from their post. They're just on alert.
Can I move my position
Yeah.
You can
to here?
make another stealth check. See if you can.
I would do so.
There we go.
Okay. You get into the bush pretty easily, considering these guys rolled a -1 on their perception check. Just saying.
Ooh. Wait, they have passive perception.
Yeah, but now they're actively looking.
alright, I wanna
I
get
am now in range for my
alright,
abilities.
I wanna get over here.
Sadly,
God.
not of the archer. But...
Wait, that's
Yeah, that's
10. That's 15 feet away. That's almost like
Yeah, I won't miss from that range.
yeah, but that's that. Like I see 10 feet there, and that's like not much taller than a person.
How
Longer than a person.
how thick is this forest, by the way?
the trees that are like not right next to each other, but they're like oak trees, so they're big enough to hide behind.
So if I did like my stealth check was trash, I could run in and then hide and then
Alternatively, you could just go to these trees instead and then go around.
alright, we'll do
Or
that. I'll
something.
go into these trees and go round.
Okay, but as these things are now aware of your presence, not necessarily your locations, but they're on alert, looking out for you, we'll
Yeah, we'll start taking things.
roll some initiation checks. Initiative.
Initiative.
Make
Oh,
sure-
shit, I didn't put it on. I'll just
Yeah.
I'll click myself and do it again, and then just change the value.
Wait, how do you do it again?
Initiative.
Click your own token first, and then on your character sheet there's a button that says initiative.
I'm
Oh.
glad the initiative rolls
I
are
just
lo-
did-
much less important.
Wait, I just did mine automatically and it worked. What?
You were
That's
probably
'cause you
already
have
clicked
yourself
on your
selected.
character.
Oh, okay. Oh, Sturden got 1.
I'm going last, boys. Luckily, I still have my shield up.
I got 20. Hell yeah.
Right, so Vasil gets whatever that was. Ow.
I'm the best, man. I need
Okay,
it.
so Charlie, it's your turn first. So
I'm gonna go in here and round to like this.
remember you've
this
got 30 feet
You've
of
got
movement.
you've got your own movement to consider
Oh,
now because
right.
we're taking turns.
Right, what's my movement?
30 feet.
Right, so if I go 15
And if you
feet
wanna
here,
do it without them seeing, make another stealth check when you move as well.
and then 15 feet to here.
Mhm.
So stealth. Hell
Ooh.
yeah.
That's fine.
So ba to ba. What is are we listening? Or are you going
It's-
sneaky beaky like?
Is that in the trees or
Yeah.
is that?
If you're there, you're probably like next to a tree, but not actually covered by it.
So is this one in a tree?
There, you would probably be able to sort of lean behind the trunk.
All right.
So, say you can get like there. You'll definitely be behind it.
I want to lean out because I want to be like leaning out like it's Rainbow Six, like with my gun in hand, like aiming around the corner. Late.
Okay. The one on top of the cliff takes a little sort of glance around and then disappears off into the trees.
Oh.
The one on this side, also taking a bit of a glance around, starts to step forward a little bit to see if he can look around a little bit. The other one starts sort of
Takes another dick to the
That's
mouth.
not good.
behind it.
That's not good.
But
Oh.
this one continues to move.
Can I see? You know the bloke who went back here. Did I see when he went back in the trees? Did he go left or did he go right?
He went in sort of this direction.
Remember, guys, also that turns are also standardized lengths of time.
Yeah, about 6 seconds, but whatever. Al isn't entirely sure what everyone's doing, so he's just going to stick around this area for now. Barry, what are you doing?
Oh, well, I don't want to use any of my abilities. Well, maybe a cantrip. Got an idea.
Okay.
Right, I'm gonna use minor illusion
Okay.
of a whatever creature they are, of a hot, sexy woman.
Do you know what a woman version looks like?
Just the same, but with lipstick on, I guess.
So yeah, I'm gonna in front of the dude that's doing the call to try and distract him.
So, like, where are you thinking? Like here?
Or a little bit off to the side.
So like yeah,
I think
literally
here,
just
I think
like
here would be
like-
great.
yeah, just there.
Okay. So you throw down an illusionary. Wait, like here or?
One above it.
Either
there.
here
There.
or.
Yeah, there.
Okay, let's make this one purple because it's an illusion.
Yeah.
Okay. So you throw down an illusionary version of whatever these things are.
Ba-da-ba,
Uh,
ba-da-da-ba.
it
Can I make it start stripping off? I'm
no.
pretty sure there's nothing stopping
Nope.
me from doing that.
Yeah.
All right,
me-
I'll make it do a strip
Yeah, the damn.
just to stop the guy from screeching.
As though it would just go, this is fucking
So
weird.
it's starts to as it's sort of
Huh?
it sort of slowly turns towards where this slightly glowing version of itself, kind of, but a different colored scales with some lipstick and weird eyelashes. It just sort of looks a little bit confused, but a little bit like, you know what? Okay, I'm cool with this.
I think that's
Basil.
stupid.
Basil
It's
continues
working,
to
though.
shimmy her way around the trees a little bit this side. The other one of these creatures still looking around a little bit, turns to like head back this way and notices the other one paying attention to this illusionary creature, and it lets out a sort of and starts like heading over this way. The other one, as the first one gets close, turns as this one's running at it and sort of dives at this guy and takes
Oh my god!
and tries to dive on him and grapple him down to the ground.
Oh! Does it succeed? This is gonna be so fucking dumb. Did it work? And they grapple on the ground.
Let me just let me screenshot this because I tried to like roll them both at the same time. So I was like, okay, I'll just add the strength bonus to it. This happened. They rolled a 2 and a 1 with a -2, so they got a 0 and a -1. So they both sort of dive at each other, and it looks like really feeble, sort of like slap fighting attempts at each other. But they both sort of just fall to the ground and start rolling around on the ground.
Okay. I'm gonna like take a quick glance at Barry. Oh.
I've just got my pipe and I'm just fucking watching while smoking some weed.
I'm just gonna be like, good job, and then I'm gonna not sprint. I'm gonna run at them
Okay.
and smash the one that's like. Yeah, I'm assuming if they're grappling and rolling around on the floor.
Yeah, they're both prone.
I'll get
my
I'll get my long sword and try and essentially slice the one that's on top as hard as humanly possible. Well, orcishly possible.
All right. So as these two are sort of rolling around on the floor, while this slightly purple glowing version of themselves is still just sort of dancing strangely next to them. It's a little bit like robotic and mechanical because you're not entirely sure like what dancing would look like, but they don't seem to notice as they're not like punching each other, but they're like just rolling back and forth on the floor. One of them is sort of upside down, sort of shaking the one on the floor underneath him, and as you come sprinting over, they're sort of and they both simultaneously look over at you as you come over with your longsword out. Make your attack roll with advantage because they're prone.
Oh!
Oh, okay. Roll the damage.
Can he get a collat? Is that possible?
Collab.
Yeah, a collateral. If one's on top of the other and you like plunge your
Like I
sword
said,
down.
Maybe if he'd crit with advantage, you could have killed them both, but he
Ooh.
didn't. So okay.
Annihilating of damage.
So the one on the top, they both look up at you, and as you swing down with your sword, you're sort of aiming for a swift decapitation, but as they're sort of rolling, the one at the bottom just kicks out, and the one that you're swinging for sort of and like lurches to the side. So you put a big gaping hole in his shoulder, but you don't instantly kill him, and they're definitely aware that you're there now.
Mm.
Charlie, 'tis your turn.
Right.
I should have just jumped on top of them.
How is it possible for me to go like here and then up this cliff so I can be where that other
You
dude
can
was?
do. Sure.
Can I do that and then take a shot down?
Yeah, you'll be above them. Bearing in mind, if things are prone, you have disadvantage on ranged attacks.
Mm. But there is two of them
But
next.
I guess since you're above them and you have like a vantage point, I would probably just say that's cancelled out because generally it's like it's a smaller target if they're like lying down. But since you're above them,
Yeah.
it'll be pretty much even anyway.
Do I need to roll to get up here?
It's like the difference
No.
between... It's like the
Right.
difference between...
The sort of path as you're going up this side sort of slopes upwards around the side.
Yeah, they're not exactly top down. So because they're lying down, top down then essentially becomes lengthways.
So, yeah, I take a shot at the. I'll go for the. Uh, I'll go for whoever I can hit, but preferably the one who's already taken damage, so I can eliminate him.
So everyone else who's in the trees at the moment, you watch as Sturdant runs up and takes a swipe at the one on the top, and as he's sort of lets out the other one sort of tries to kick him up and stand up on his feet and pull his weapon out. You notice Charlie running out from the trees up on the cliff where the one was before, pulls out that weird little machine thing that she carries with her, point it at the ones below, and there is just a as the one who was on the top, who already took a swipe's worth of damage, just half of his head just sort of goes as he gets pushed back about. He sort of goes through the middle of the illusion and just lies flat on the floor.
Nice.
Mike Grill did a good job.
Good job. Devi, in team.
So this boy, Charlie, make a perception check as well as you're running that way.
Alright. Yeah. Well, that's not good.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. The same things that just happened continue to happen. So Charlie, as you shoot your pistol down at the kobold down below, everyone seems to sort of stop for a minute, and they're like, "Wait, like what the hell was that?"
Hell
And you
yeah.
sort of do the classic sort of whip it round and blow away
Oh,
the
nah,
smoke.
no, I don't do
Okay.
that. Nah,
Well,
I don't
you're,
do.
you're
No,
well,
no,
you're well
no,
too
no.
cool. Shut up.
No,
Shut up.
no,
So, like,
no way.
as-
Not doing that shit.
Actually, it would have advantage.
What was that roll for?
Okay, that's fine. As you're okay, well, whatever you do when you've taken the shot, everything sort of goes quiet for a second as everyone's just sort of like looking over at you, and you're stood up on the cliff, and everyone's like, "Whoa, this girl's badass."
Hell.
Then out from the tree behind you, there's a
Damn it.
little sort of as a small arrow comes flying from the trees and just clips you in the back of the leg, just above the knee. You take. Wait a minute. You take 5 piercing damage
Ouch.
as the arrow sort of sticks through your, what's that called? Ham?
Leg.
Hamstring.
No, it's above the hamstring, I'm sure. I think. I don't know.
My
Whatever it's
leg.
called. Your leg
My leg.
sticks into the back. It's like cheap acupuncture. Want to take the damage? Just click on your character, and in the 3 boxes that appear above, the green one, just put -5, and then press enter.
Right.
Stop drawing the arrow, you freak.
No, that's my arrow. No.
Take the damn damage,
Just
idiot.
take the damage.
I do what.
No, you'll take the damage.
I'll just.
The one who just had his friend, quotation marks, demolished right in front of his eyes, stands up, points his spear towards you, Stud, and you can see that he's visibly sort of shaking as he's holding it. He sort of draws his hand back as if he's about to take a stab at you, and then he drops the spear, turns around, and runs back this
Alright.
way.
Attack of
Is he getting-
opportunity.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
That'll hit.
Jesus.
All right. So as he turns to run, you take a hefty swipe across his back. You leave a pretty nasty wound just above the top of his tail as he turns around, just gets to about the mouth of the cave. He's limping something nasty.
I've got a plan.
Does your plan involve killing the kobold running into the cave?
It's gonna be a jump shot. You just watch.
Alright, Al.
I'm gonna
Is that
I'm gonna 360 no scope this kid.
Al, seeing that we're obviously fighting, is gonna run out.
Don't touch.
Here.
Like, don't touch him. He's mine. He's mine. I'm gonna do something spectacular.
However, make perception checks for me.
Sure.
All of us.
Yep.
Alright. Why am I rolling
Hell
actually not
yeah.
that bad today? I haven't had anything below 12. 10 yet.
Kieran's just thick as two like short planks.
but
That
me-
he's so
me smash.
stupid.
Me smash.
We smash.
Okay, so Charlie, from your vantage point, you're the only one who notices as out from the trees over on this side. Wait a minute, where is it? Some way, that's why.
This is just gonna get even better. This trick shot is gonna be insane.
One more little kobold comes charging through the trees, immediately just shields its eyes as it comes into this little section of open trees. But from above, one with these sort of leathery wings flapping comes flying out above about 30 or 40 feet above the air. Comes flying across, gets above Al. Let me bring him to the front. And he drops a pretty large looking rock from the sky above. It clocks Al right on the dome as he's running forwards. He takes 6 damage, and this thing flies to about here. Al, on his turn, can't go anywhere else. So Barry. So yeah, this thing's flying about 40 feet up in the air.
Well, I'm gonna shoot it with a firebolt.
Alrighty. Give it a go.
Oh, crit.
Okay,
Oh, baby!
that's a crit.
120 feet.
How do I click for damage? Is it that?
Click the fireball.
Yeah.
No,
Click.
the-
No. Click the
no,
word
click
fireball
the
in the
word.
chat box.
I got you.
Not that one. The other one.
No,
The top one.
picked
Oh,
it
you
up.
did. Okay, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, that's
It's not
really
working.
weird. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't work when you click someone else's
Oh, okay.
Yugun. So, as this thing comes in, drops a stone, Barry, you pop out from your bush, and you...
I dolphin dive.
Yes.
you
He drop shots the little
cook up a little
dirty
bolt of
player.
fire, a specialty of your good buddy back from Wizard College. I don't know, did you change his name to Larry or Paul or whatever? And just hurl this little ball of fire at the one that's flying through the air. It clocks it right on the side of the temple, and it lets out a sort of... and just comes tumbling out of the sky and crashes face first on the floor.
Dead.
One shot.
Get one
I
shot.
lift my arms up above my head and just go, "You see me now?"
You should do the John Cena, like, you
I
can't
did it,
see
Mom.
me.
Mum, get the camera!
420.
You haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah,
Look,
let's go.
I'm practicing my spins. Look. Let's go.
Alright, anything else you want to do, or you staying where you are? You want to move?
I'll move here.
Great.
Nearer to me. Yay.
That guy's dead.
Rip guy.
Shivazzle.
She fires, will she do?
She notices the one that's running out from this side, so she's gonna step out from the trees to about here. See if we can get a clean shot just past everybody.
Just through Al's head.
Yeah, it's fine. Al's pretty short, so she can aim over him. Line up an Eldritch Bolt Eldritch Blast. It's gonna hit. That catches him square in the chest. A big green bolt of energy comes flying out from her hand, just whips past Al's shoulder and clocks him. And it looks like he's just taken a big punch. It's just winded him.
Ooh.
Sturdent, it is your turn.
Hey, let's go. You know, I don't like leaving this guy up to Morgan.
I've got him. Don't you worry. I've got him.
You know what? I'm gonna do something relatively stupid, and I'm gonna walk up to it and throw a javelin at this one. In fact, no. I'm gonna grab it.
Okay, make a grapple check.
It's just strength, right?
Athletics.
Okay.
Even better.
Even better. Woohoo!
So he's going to try and acrobatics its way out. Oh, close.
Ooh. It almost beat me.
As you come over and start to swipe at it, it does sort of dive and dodge out of the way, but you grab onto its tail and just drag it back in and hold it in place.
Alright. Get
I
ready.
really need to pee. I'll be.
Get ready for the gun show, people.
Hey, Kieran, before we do this, do you think I should tell him about the full damage rule?
No, let him do what he wants.
Wait, how
10 feet, like, it might hurt his toes.
I mean, he has
10
enough...
feet's like jumping off the top of the of like a garage. It's fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But mechanically speaking...
Yeah. Mechanically speaking.
Let's just say it's unlikely to knock you unconscious, but it's possible.
What? That's so stupid. No, it wouldn't.
But, like...
But it's
Yeah.
possible.
It's possible.
It likely won't, but if you're trying to shoot something in midair, you're probably not focusing too much on landing, so you might land awkwardly.
Do you know how good I am?
Right, he threw a 20 acrobatics check. Okay.
Yeah, but what's the relevance of that if he's trying to shoot something? You have enough time jumping down from 10 feet, which isn't very long, to either try and take a shot or to sort out a landing. What do you want to do?
Oh, sort of the
One or the other.
landing, 'cause it's probably the right thing to do, and it's boring, but I won't hurt myself.
I mean, you can
Piece
do it
of
anyway.
shit. No, I'll just do
Well,
that.
Okay. Well, in that case, that 20 you roll for acrobatics is cool. So you land on the floor and do a swift little parkour roll. You end up sort of face first, aiming your pistol at the kobold that is currently grappled by Sturdent. You just sort of aim at its head.
It has no weapon either.
Yep.
Wait, can I put out my rapier for this? Because I don't want to. I presume I have ammo, so I don't want to waste my ammo.
I'm presuming that you jumping off that was already a bonus action.
I'd say it would be an action to
Oh god.
try to not take damage from there. So I mean, he either had time to do that or not, or take a shot. So
Yeah.
you can pull out your rapier, but you don't have time to attack with it.
Alright, I'll just shoot with a pistol then.
You don't have time.
Pull
to do
out.
that.
Oh, fuck! Why not just shoot? I didn't know this! I could have free. Can I go back and 360, please? I'll take the damage. I don't care.
All right, go on, give it a go.
Yes!
It will be disadvantage on the shot though if you're
Right,
jumping.
that's fine. Right.
Okay, roll it again.
8.
Okay, so you jump off, do a sweet 360, take a shot with the pistol, and it goes wide by a pretty good margin.
Fuck.
You land on the floor a little awkwardly. Your ankle sort of falls out from underneath you. You take 3 damage.
Who takes 3 damage from falling 10 feet? What is
Yeah.
this?
You hurt your ankle because you weren't ready.
This is so, like, oh my god, like, what human is this? Is this Stephen Hawking? Like,
The same kind of human that shoots pistols at little lizard creatures.
oh my
While doing a
god.
backflip off of.
I was in a backflip, it was a 360. It's so easy. It's 10 feet. It's fine.
This kobold is going to try and get out of your grapple, so make another athletics check. Okay, you'll probably beat that.
I mean,
don't think it's possible
I
for you to lose.
I could get a 1.
But you'll still be higher.
Yeah, no, but
You-
a one's an auto fail. Like,
not on skill checks, it's not.
oh, is it not? Hey, yeah, I physically cannot fail that.
Yeah, so it cannot move.
Hate this piece of shit. Fucking stupid. Not level 360. Like, what's the fucking point? Gonna
this-
kill myself. So stupid.
This little cobbers is gonna squeeze itself around into the trees. Barry, make a perception check. Oh, he's not here. Oh, he's here. Okay. You notice as you're looking over at Charlie doing some weird, stupid stuff that you're like, what an
Yeah.
idiot. Why would you do that? You notice that over in this direction, the trees are slightly rustling. And as you sort of look, you can see a little bit of a shape, maybe about 5 or 10 feet back from the tree line, hiding out from behind a tree. And as you're sort of squinting to try and get a better view at what it is, a small little arrow comes flying out. But as you've noticed it, you can sidestep quickly out of the way, and you take no damage because it misses.
Because I'm a beast.
That thing's dead. Al turns over this away, pulls out his mace in hand, and goes wandering on over towards that little kobold. Why is it slashing? I'm sure
Yeah,
fix that
maces
next
should
week,
be bludgeoning, but
yeah. Oh well,
it's
whatever.
fine. Yeah.
He comes wandering over to this kobold who's still sort of recovering from being winded by that eldritch blast to the chest, and then does it sort of like holds onto its stomach. It sort of looks up and sees Al in front of it and goes, ah! As Al just swipes with the mace and just
I'll fucking go into town.
bonk.
Smashes this guy. I like to think I'm like one-handed grabbing hold of this this kobold's tail and just like
Yeah, you
while
can
it's
pretty-
running, its feet are slipping. The veins in my arms are just like popping out, and I'm just me hold.
So Barry, you are aware of where the archer one is because he just took a shot at you and missed.
Yep. So I'm gonna shoot back.
Okay.
That
You
doesn't hit, does it?
warm up a fireball in your hand and hurl it, but it looks like it bounces off a tree, and you're like, "Oh, did I just start a forest fire?" But it's still kind of soggy and marshy a little bit around here, so you might be okay with that. Shivazzle, though, sees whatever it is that you're throwing in that direction. She has pretty good vision under the dark cover of the trees, so she's gonna cough up another eldritch blast as well and throw it out in that direction. Again, hits the same tree though.
At
This
least.
thing is just sort of ducked behind the tree and is just sort of like
At least you hit flying one. Not to Shivazzle. To
so.
Barry.
Sturden, it is your turn.
Alright. He's taken 9 damage so far.
Yes.
Alright. While I've got hold of it, I'm gonna punch it in the back of the head.
Okay.
I'd have to let go for that though, right? In fact, yeah, I'll use the pommel of my sword and just like smack it on the back of the head.
Okay, you can do that. Sure. So it'd still be using strength, so just roll a normal attack, but then it'll just be 1d4 damage because improvised weapon.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh,
I guess I don't hit it. Unless
I guess
it's, AC 10.
it is not. It is not AC 10.
Yeah. I guess I don't hit it.
Okay. So you go to give it a punch with your pommel, but it's still just squirming out of the way, and you just sort of brush past, and it sort of looks back and goes, ah!
Because I'm trying not to kill it now. I want it to just be unconscious, so I drag it away.
Charlie, it is your turn.
Can I like cry or something? Is that like
Sure, yeah. That's a bonus action now.
roll for depression? Can I just like I don't know? Can I just like flick just do something to kill the Wait, let me just. I want to move here, so I'm behind sternum, so that
Yeah, that's
twat
cool.
muncher can't kill me, and I'll just I don't know, poke him like. Do some like whatever attack I don't know like which I can actually pull off because apparently
Right,
drawing my sword is so hard.
Yeah, you can use a bonus action to just like
Alright, Morgan,
change weapons.
Think of jump shotting in this game as like Counter-Strike jump shotting rather than COD.
All right, look,
jump shotting,
if I
yeah?
had the scout, I could have landed that.
Yeah, but you
No, I
don't.
Yeah, but you don't have a
To be
speed. You
fair,
have a
You have,
pistol.
you,
Look,
yeah, you
have you
like
not
a
seen?
Desert
Have
Eagle.
you not seen
Hey,
Cold?
you have an R8
You
revolver.
got like a flintlock.
Wait, no,
Yeah.
the R8 revolver's accurate while jumping.
Oh, well then you don't have that. You have the other thing.
All right,
got a
have
flintlock.
you not seen Cold Zero? You got a 4K
With the ball.
jump shot,
Yeah,
no
and
scoping
they-
with the orb.
and
Have you
that-
seen
and that was-
Simple? Simple did it.
Morgan, you know, you realize that both of those things were so unlikely that they literally added things into the game to commemorate how amazing that they were.
Yeah,
That does
and
not happen
I am
every game.
amazing. There is a reason I'm known as the massive legend.
Morgan, you're level 1. You're not a pro player yet. Shut up.
Look, right.
You're in range to stab it with the rapier.
I'll just
So you-
I'll rapier him.
Rape him.
Okay.
Rapier him.
So as he's sort of squirming and wiggling out of the way, he dodges out of the punch that Sturdit throws at him, turns around as you sort of step around and draw your sword. He looks up into your eyes and goes, the boss is going to be pissed, as you stab him through the chest, and he falls.
Little
Dead.
git.
He said, and he did say that in a language that you can understand, by the way.
Oh, that's weird. Which language?
Common.
Oh, okay, cool.
The two of you who are keeping an eye on the one in the woods, you notice that as the tree that he's hiding behind is getting dangerously close to being chopped down through magical means, you notice that a little bit further back, you start seeing the shape sort of disappearing off between some trees. Looks like he's running away.
Shit.
Okay.
End of combat.
No, he's
Yeah.
not gone yet.
That's
I
okay,
mean,
but, you know,
we had no
he's-
idea if he was going.
He's, as far as you're aware, he's run away.
Okay. Right.
Can I walk up to this one, stand on top of its body, and spit on it?
Sure.
Roll for accuracy.
Do I need to roll anything?
Roll, because what if you spit?
I mean-
you could end
Can
up.
I roll a
you,
charisma?
you could end up dribbling on yourself. Like,
Yeah.
like
Bearing in mind that Barry is about 2 feet tall, he doesn't have very far.
yeah,
That
but
his
like.
spit could be like affected by wind.
All
or
right,
anything,
all
so-
right. Kieran tried to stealth earlier, and he
That's me.
literally rolled a 1. Right. Okay, and he was like 40 feet away from the people. Like,
Wait,
Yeah, and
wait.
they still didn't notice him.
All right.
I don't know what HP Morgan's on.
I say do like
Pretty low.
a like
Yeah, he's
a
pretty low.
like a dexterity check or something. How dexterous you are with spitting.
Alternatively,
Can I knock Morgan out?
since
Mate,
spitting
I
on
will
an-
shoot you.
since spitting on a dead creature is considerably easier than shooting something while doing a 360 off a cliff.
Alright, it's not my fault. This game is stupid. No one told me that you can't do that.
Morgan, how realistic do you think
Hey.
it is to do like a 360 no scope off of a cliff?
Alright,
in real
okay,
life?
alright. How realistic is you somehow managed to create a weird, like, female version, which was basically the same one you just saw, just with lipstick on it, and they were like, oh yeah, that's definitely a female of our species, and not
Yeah, but
only
you-
that,
you-
they decided to fight each other over it.
Yeah, but
Alright,
now you're
okay,
getting, now
right,
you're getting into
Right,
you
so
get
why
into the
can I
debate of-
not 360 no scope off a
you're
cliff?
you're getting into the debate of made-up creatures reacting to a made-up friggin' I don't even know
Right,
what you
but
call it.
why would they have
stimulus
lipstick?
against real
Surely
world
that's
physics.
but real world physics will be fine. It's 10 feet.
Yeah. It's the rules, man. I didn't
It's
write
and
them.
he's like right next to me. I literally, oh my.
Yeah, that makes it worse.
I mean, it could have worked. It just didn't.
Yeah. Blame the dice.
Can I
don't
roll
blame
to
me.
shoot myself, please?
Play the game.
Make a
I'll
check
allow
with
it.
disadvantage because you're within 5 feet of yourself.
Uh,
Okay, so bearing in mind, I did say at the start of the session we have new players playing with us. I think it's pretty easy to figure out which one of us that is, right?
Fuck off.
Anyway,
Right.
you have successfully solved my kobold puzzle. Good
By
job.
killing them all. Nice.
Wasn't a puzzle.
My dolphin dive critting one
He
of them.
he dolphin dived. Oh my god! And there was no punishment for that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, because he
He's
did
on the
it from.
ground.
Is a dolphin? He
but
dolphin dived
Morgan,
and fired a
Morgan,
magical spell. What
Morgan,
the
Morgan.
hell?
Morgan, right? Think about this. His character is 3 feet tall.
Ah!
Dolphin diving is basically watching a dog do a jump.
Wait, so from his eye level to the floor, there was 3 feet. From yours to the floor, there was about 20.
It wasn't 20. I'm not 10 foot tall.
You jumped.
I
jumped.
Alright, I stepped off.
I said the cliff is between 10 and 15 feet tall. So say it was 14. You're 5 feet.
Ah! Right.
Just,
I'm just gonna
Just-
drop shot everyone from now on. Screw
Yeah,
trying to
just-
do trick shots.
hey, that's fine.
I'm just gonna
You said-
drop shot
hey,
all the
you
time.
said
You
were
end up
watching, like-
prone, but like you know.
You said you were watching some Rainbow Six stuff before, and they were all doing it. So it works for you. Works for them. Why not you?
Yeah, but they can drop through a roof and shoot someone, and apparently it's not okay in D&D.
Anyway,
It's not okay indeed.
right? Can we shut up now because
Yeah,
they're all dead. The cave opening is in front of you.
I want to die.
Oh,
Same.
let's go in.
HP are you
We
on?
go in.
Like, I presume they heard all the commotion, right?
You don't know. You
Well-
don't know what's inside.
Oh,
Alright, Sternum can go.
The only clue you have as to what's inside is the trail of what you presume is the small girl that
Perception
was kidnapped.
check!
and the fact that the one that you just killed said the boss is going to be pissed.
Perception check!
can I?
For what?
I'm just gonna try
Shit,
and
for
divine
nothing, because it's
sense.
trash.
I'm gonna divine sense.
I light a spliff.
Can I have
Okay.
a toke on that, please?
Yes.
I need it.
There is no celestials, fiends, or undead within 60 feet of you.
Cool. I didn't expect it to be, but it's nice to know.
So Al comes up as everyone is sort of gathering together. We ready to do this then?
Aye, Captain.
You look a little. You look a little worse for wear there.
I'll punch you in the face.
Let me.
Don't
let me.
punch out.
Let me get that for you. And he reaches out a hand and touches you on the shoulder, and you regain 8 hit points.
Just grabs my ass, and then I'm healed.
No,
per-
no, the
per-
shoulder.
pervial.
No, the shoulder.
Why the
Pervia.
shoulder? He's like he got shot in the leg.
Yeah.
Because it's magic.
Okay.
Oh, so this is. Oh my god!
Hey, you don't have a magic weapon.
Do you have a gun?
Right. I'm gonna Google this.
What game?
How far can a human fall?
I mean,
Were they dying?
With- like Skyrim.
Without
I can show.
injury.
I can show you some.
bearing in mind,
interesting
Morgan,
bullshit.
at the point that you jumped off, you had an arrow sticking out the back of your leg, so that
Yeah,
wasn't
that
gonna help
doesn't
you
that
landing.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, but
It matters a bit.
Morgan, I've seen people trip over and nearly die, like as in like they smacked their head on the ground and nearly died. Like,
Anyways.
like that's you know like I think like 5 feet is measurably different to 15.
Alright, stop googling trash and add the hit points that Al just gave you. Otherwise, you don't get them.
Yeah.
Plus
8.
8.
Wonderful.
I'm keeping
so-
the arrow in my leg, by the way. That's not leaving.
That's fine. That's medically the correct thing to do. It's only a small one, so it doesn't like affect your moving or anything. You just have an accessory, I suppose. So Al is like, okay, come on, let's go. Who's going first?
Me. Oh, do I think Al is like able to take more of a punch than I am?
He did get a rock dropped on his head, so he has like a bit of a bulge on one side. So at the moment, you're pretty similar to each other. There's like a golf ball sized lump on his forehead.
Okay, so we're both as dumb as each other now. Alright, me go first.
Pretty much.
Me go first.
Barry, you wave one last goodbye to your little purple kobold as she disappears. And you all step inside the cave entrance.
Come inside. Step
Uh,
inside.
As the map suggests, it's pretty dark in here.
Yep.
You follow a tunnel that seems to lead from maybe...
Did nobody pick up a torch?
I don't need a torch, I've got dark vision.
I mean, you all have torches anyway.
Yeah,
So
well,
I just assume that you would light one. Or, I don't know, maybe have a spell that you can cast or something. But anyway, you get inside. It's kind of a winding tunnel that sort of turns back on itself, generally heading downwards. If you all want to put yourselves on the bottom left side of this map.
I'm already there.
I know you are. Oh, damn it, it's not working for Al either.
Ow. Oh. I'm assuming we didn't gain XP or anything in the last session, so we're gonna get it like.
I don't do like XP, I do milestones.
Ah, okay, cool. Cool.
So who are we missing? We're missing Charlie and Barry. Get yourselves in here.
Oh, I can't see a map. So...
That's because it's all black.
Yeah, bottom left corner.
Oh,
dude.
wait.
That's why I said bottom left corner. Morgan, come up.
Wait, sorry, I was reading stuff. What happened?
About how far people can.
Your health bar is not on anymore again.
Yeah, how
Yeah,
far
I
people
know,
can
that's
fall.
gonna happen. Yeah, but Morgan, shut up now. Oh my God, you're annoying.
No, I was just reading up, but I found something interesting. There's a guy who fell from a damaged B-17 flying fortress and survived the drop of 22,000 feet. Well, that's nutty, that is.
Yeah, but you're not that guy.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying. I'm just saying it's interesting. Like
think he
that
dropped a
wasn't
360 and
that
shoot someone?
wasn't my point. He fell out of a burning plane. That's just cool.
I
That's
think he
pretty-
would.
that's
I think
pretty
he would have died if he was doing, a 360 no scope.
Oh my god.
100%.
Yeah, I think the force would have probably killed him.
So, as you guys make your way down this tunnel that's mostly made out of sort of dirt, it's a little bit damp and a little bit kind of spooky down here. For some reason, the music bot has disappeared, so here we go. Throw him on.
Ooh, ambient.
As you get down far enough into this tunnel, you start to see the walls change from the sort of mud and dirt that they were before. It looks more sort of carved, smooth, almost stone. And as you get further down, the floor starts to become paved. And you can see in front of you a staircase that leads down. Those of you who can see in the dark, you can see what looks like a room down here.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a
Please
fire
don't be an altar.
pit in the
Ooh.
center.
Can I see if the fire pit is full or not?
There's no fire down there. It's completely dark down there.
Yeah, but is there stuff in the fire pit?
From here, it's difficult to see. It's kind of raised up
Ah.
from the floor. It's like
Wait,
a
but we're at the top of the staircase.
Yeah, it's like a big metal bowl that's
huge metal bowl.
it's about 10 feet across.
Okay, yeah.
And it's raised up on a platform in the center of the room. So the top of it is probably about eye level with you.
Okay.
But as you get down to here, make perception checks.
Okie doke. Me kind of see things.
Me see fuck all.
5, 5, 5.
5, 5, 5.
Okay.
So as you're coming down the tunnel, sort of keeping an eye out for any mysterious or spooky things that might be happening, you hear the occasional dripping sound of some moisture in the atmosphere. But Sturden, as you step down onto the staircase that leads into the room, go back.
Okay.
You hear from somewhere inside this room a sort of
Cozy.
I'm gonna whisper to the other guys. I hear something. Yeah, it sounds like
Whereabouts is it?
I don't know, but I hear something down here, and it sounds like the same things that were up there. It were relatively similar noises.
somewhat similar.
Okay. I'm gonna start holding up my shield, and then take another step forwards.
As you step into the room, you have your shield at the ready.
Mm-hmm.
A small dagger comes swinging out from the side. Ignore the 3.
Okay.
So that would be an 18 to hit you.
Yep. Yeah, it does.
Okay. So as you're looking forwards around the room, from just off to your side, a small dagger here.
Wait, hang
comes
on.
swinging through.
I forget what readying a block does.
Nothing. Shut up.
It matters.
No. Because. Shut up.
Hang on, I'm finding out.
I don't care.
Stop.
Stop rules lawyering me, you idiot. You get hit by it.
It's
So, there's
not
things.
rules.
You're going into a spooky place where you can't see anything, and this thing just attacked you by surprise.
Oh yeah, okay. So
you
advantage and disadvantage cancel. Okay, I'll take it.
Sure, why not?
Whatever.
But it hit you anyway. So, it gives you a little stab in the top of the thigh. You take 3 damage.
Okay.
As you get down here, you can see around the rest of the room. And I suppose, Anish time again.
Yay. Yay.
Oops.
Hashtag Barry gets 18.
Love me some Barry. Vasil, what are you getting?
You want to be a Barry? Yeah,
Wait, is this one asleep?
10, this guy.
That guy's
Barry.
got a stick.
Barry.
Wait, there was one in this hole before. I saw it.
Nope, he didn't.
There was a guy in this hole, guys.
Nope. Wait, let's see if you saw it. Roll perception check. Have to beat a 20. He saw it. Okay, you saw it. You die.
Me smart.
Me eyeballs. Fine. Okay. So, Barry.
I see no reason to move.
It is still incredibly dark down there. Your torchlight probably reaches, I don't know, maybe like here from the top of the stairs, and from where you are, you can't see anything. The wall is in the way of this one and of this one.
Can I move to here?
Yes.
Do I see anything more?
You can maybe get an angle on that one. He probably has cover, so his armor class will be a little higher.
That one there.
Oh, that
What about
one?
the one in the
Well, that one back there, you can't see because you don't have dark vision, and the torchlight ends here.
What about... So I can see these two guys, right?
You can sort of see this one and this one, yeah.
Right, I'm gonna shoot at this one.
Okay.
Firebolt.
Do it.
Mm,
You do not hit.
fuck.
Okay.
Al, he's gonna come down. I'm on the wrong layer. Come down them steps. That's why you couldn't see my ruler there because I was on the wrong layer. Whoops. He's gonna come down, looking sort of towards the one that just attacked you, but he notices the one next to him, so he's gonna step up and take a swipe with his mace, which I will change to. Let's do that real quick. Some blood damage.
Ooh.
Damn. No mucking about. As Al takes this one down to. He gives it a good clock across the side of the head. It doesn't seem to appreciate it. Vasil is going to make her way down the stairs. What can she actually do here?
See in the dark. That's
Okay.
one thing.
That's true. She comes down the stairs, looks at the two on either side of her. Barry, you see her look off into the darkness in this sort of direction, and she sort of and swings one of her arms upwards, and this sort of black shroud starts to form around her. It sort of sweeps across like a smoke sort of rising, but it just stays around her body, and you swear as you look at it, you can see what look like faces almost like screaming, or that look in pain or anguished in this sort of thick black smoke that just clouds around her
Is this
body.
room the scene from the Scooby-Doo movie with all the souls?
Pretty much,
I'm
except
getting
they're
that sort of vibe.
pretty much
It's
except
like
instead of
bright green, it's
Yeah,
black.
they're like black.
The faces of all the creatures she's collected.
As she does so, an arrow comes flying from the far corner of the room and hits her square in the chest. But it's strange because when it hits, the black sort of energy sort of absorbs the blow, and you can see for a second the arrow itself is sort of engulfed by all this sort of smoke, which then sort of coalesces and then jolts back at where the arrow came from, off into the darkness. She doesn't seem to be affected by the arrow.
Ooh. It's pretty swag.
This boy is going to take another stab at Senor Sturden.
Disadvantage.
Wait, did I put +2 before?
Yes.
It shouldn't have been +2. It should have been +4.
On the second one.
But you have not had a turn in combat yet.
Yeah, but I've still had my shield up. I've not put it down yet, and it's till my next turn.
But you haven't taken an action, so how can you take a block action?
I blocked before.
Shut up and take damage, you idiot.
Come on, man.
You take what did I roll before? I forgot. +2. Okay. Oh, you take 6 damage as this time he stabs a little bit
Wait,
above the
okay,
leg.
Okay, there we go.
gets underneath your armor. And
Wait, where's your additional dice roll? Oh, okay, sure. Wow.
come on, you have to at least pretend to
Be in trouble.
be able to die. This guy is going to take a bash at Al. He's carrying what looks like just a heavy stick in his hand. He takes a bash at Al and seems to actually find a little crack in the armor. Al takes 3 damage. And Charlie, it is your turn. You're in a similar situation as Barry. You can't see much beyond this point. Wait, who's carrying the torch, actually? Because that would be quite important.
One of the humans would probably
I say-
be carrying the torch.
Charlie, your weapon is one-handed, right? So you can be carrying the torch. So as you move, you can see up to about here.
Can I shoot this dude?
Sure. You can aim around Sturden, so the wall won't be getting in the way, so you can take a shot.
Bang.
Ooh, nice.
Roll the damage on that. Okay. So as this little lizardy thing, it looks like this one has some sort of armor on. It doesn't look particularly effective, like it's just something that's picked up from wandering adventurers or something. It doesn't fit very well. It's leather that's sort of just dangling off it. And as it comes in with its dagger again, goes for a stab and just gets underneath Sturden's armor. Sturden gives and this thing sort of pulls the dagger back out with a huh? And its face just gets sort of pushed back as the pistol bolt just shortens its snout by about 3 inches and it falls down to the ground. One-shotted.
Ooh, tasty.
Sturden, 'tis your turn.
Okay. Let's check what this distance is. 40 feet. Ah, that's kind of a pain. Huh. Okay. I'm gonna move to here and take a swing at this guy.
All right, you may do so.
Ooh.
That definitely hits, and considering he has 1 hit point left, it doesn't matter what damage you deal. You swing around with your longsword, and as this thing is sort of cornered by 2 heavily armored, hench-looking guys, it sort of tries to press itself up against the wall, and you, with your longsword, just cleave across through the stomach and cut cleanly in half. Its legs sort of collapse on the ground, and its body, for a second, just stays held up by your sword before it just sort of slides off and lands on the floor.
Nice.
Dead. Barry, it is your turn. You can just about make out up to around here-ish.
So I can see the one. If
You
I
can
move, if I move here, I'll see the one that's.
It's if you had your own torch, maybe, but casting spells is probably going to take both hands. So you can see there's hay here, and there might be a shape there. Make a perception check with disadvantage.
How do I do the disadvantage?
It
You
does it
just roll
automatically.
perception.
Just roll.
You take the lower value.
Okay. You can see there's definitely a pile of hay there, but beyond that,
I don't really know what to do then.
you can
Why
you
don't
can
you
always
try and throw
ready
a
in
fire-
action.
Why don't you try and throw a firebolt in the fire
Yeah,
brazier?
but that doesn't count as.
Yeah, you can ready in
Like,
action.
I
so
don't know there's something in there.
Yeah. I mean, we know it's a fire brazier, but we just don't know if there's anything in there. And it might be worth doing. But readying an action's really good too. And it's up to you.
Oh, Uh,
Can I move forward again? I take up another action, right?
where'd you
Where-
come
where
from? You
were
only came
you?
from there, so you've still got 10 feet of movement speed. So you can get to here.
I'll go there.
Okay.
Do I now see it?
Nope.
Nope.
Because it's not where you are, it's where the light source is.
Yep. Your vision doesn't
Which is-
change because you still can't see it.
Which
I'm
is,
gonna
it
I'm
would
gonna
actually be
move-
back
I'm gonna-
here.
Instead of moving all the way that forward, I'm gonna move there then.
Okay.
Alright.
And return.
Al turns from the now dead kobold to Sturdont, and he's like, "Oh, these little bastards!" And he puts one hand out towards you, Sturdont, And-
On the butt.
on the butt, and you regain 4 hit points.
Nice.
Kind of a
Cheers,
garbage
brother.
roll. Shivazel does that thing that she does, sort of gathers up some green-looking energy and shoots it off into the darkness. And Barry, from the far end of the room, you can hear a and then a little thunk as Mr. Down by the Hole falls to the ground.
He only had 9 hit points.
He was already hit one. Well, he already took damage from the armor thing that she did.
Oh, it fired it directly back and it hit him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Okay. So the only one left in the room is still asleep, despite the large explosion that came out of Charlie's gun. Again.
Wait, how is he? How is he asleep?
I rolled percentage.
Oh, and
I
he's
gave it-
still asleep.
I gave it a 75% to wake him up, and it rolled 84. So he's gently. As you get to about that point, Barry, you would start hearing a sort of raspy.
Right.
But as Charlie comes closer with the torch, it's pretty plain to see that there is a pile of hay there that has one of these creatures on it. It seems to be sleeping like snuggled up next to a spear. It's holding onto it.
Can I next to him sort of like put one foot on the spear so he wouldn't be able to lift it up, kneel down and put my gun in his head and then slowly tap his head so he wakes up.
Okay. So, Barry, I guess, are you going over there as well, or
Yeah.
keeping your distance? Okay. So
Come
the two
on,
of you
boys.
go over to the sleeping kobold. You restrain his weapon from him and wake him up with the tap of the pistol to the head. He sort of looks around a little bit, glances over to where his amigo with the bow is, and he's like, This is a bad dream, huh?
I ask him where's the girl.
Where is she?
Where is she?
Huh?
Where is she?
The girl. Girl? Huh? Girl. Wow, this is, not, no girls here, no, not for a while. Not seen a girl for good time.
Can I specify what's Al's race? Is he human
He's-
or
He's a dwarf.
a dwarf girl?
What is
Ah, dwarf, like, well, what a dwarf. What that? What's a dwarf?
Can I gently like knock him over the head and point to Al? Because he's starting to piss me off.
Okay. He takes a damage from that. Oh, like you, but like little. Yeah. He like glances over at Barry and says, "You a dwarf?"
All right, I'll pull back.
He's dodging.
I'll pull back my hammer on my pistol and say, "You didn't answer the question."
Make an intimidation check.
Surely the gun would be enough, but
He doesn't know what a gun is. Nobody knows what guns are.
oh hell
Hey, that's pretty
yeah!
good. Hey, that's pretty good.
Oh. It was critically success with a -1.
He has a little bit of a grin on his face with looking at Barry, and then he hears the sound of the gun and like looks over and he's like, "Oh, wow, you guys are serious." The girl, God. I don't know. The boss has her. The boss. Boss.
Where's your boss?
If you excuse me for a second, he tries to like scramble to his feet. So
Grab him. Both of you grab him.
He's gonna make an acrobatics check to try and get away from you. So if either of you could make acrobatics, or wait, no, it's athletics from both of you.
Oh, why can't it be acrobatics? My athletics is -2.
Oh, so is Barry's, right?
Oh, so you physically can't
What is it?
succeed
What are we
unless you get
doing?
a 20.
Athletics or
Can I just
acrobatics?
can I just shoot him in the foot?
Has to be athletics rather to try and grab him.
Oh, I said that. They didn't make the decision on that.
Yeah, no. To try and grapple someone, it's athletics. To try and get out, it's athletics or acrobatics.
Hmm.
Can I just
What
shoot
earth
him
is
in the?
that roll?
Can I shoot him in the foot? Like just physically?
You can't do attack of opportunities with ranged weapons. It
Then
has
can
to be melee weapons.
Then I cut off his ankle?
But you're holding a torch.
Then can
in
I
your
burn
hand.
burn him?
So
Oh wait,
you
can I
could-
just
you can,
shoot?
like-
Can I just shoot like in the air just because this guy was asleep while I shot. He's not gonna know what this thing does. Like, can I just shoot at the wall in front of him to like scare the shit out of him?
Sure, you can do that. Make another intimidation check.
Dear, this isn't gonna go well. It's better than I thought it was, but still not good.
This thing.
Why did you move me? I got moved.
Oops. Yeah, I moved everyone from that side.
Okay. It works out in my favour.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about just like running towards him and grabbing him myself.
This one, as you take a shot, Kieran, roll an initiative real quick.
Okay.
Don't bother with the initiative tracker, but just see what you get. So,
Initiative and all.
as you notice this thing start to scramble to its feet, you start running over this way. Stop drawing, Steve. Kieran, you take a shot at it and it impacts on the wall, but it doesn't stop running. It just dives over the hay bale
Into
and
the hole.
disappears down the hole.
Fuck.
Well, first of all, we can gather that they do have the little girl, and the thing called Boss has it. Let's look around. I think we should look around this room to see if there's anything that'll help us out in figuring out
Steve.
what Boss is.
Steve, what do you
Steve,
think?
get out of the pit. Steve, get out of the fire
Steve,
pit.
what do
are
you
doing,
think?
Steve? It's dangerous.
We should look around the room, see if there's any clues or something.
Steve's my friend.
Get out of here, Steve.
Little Steve.
What the fuck is that?
Hey, who's that?
Who the fuck are you? Who the
It's
fuck
John.
are you?
No,
Yeah.
John!
Alright. So,
I can.
you're now alone in this room.
Hey, I wanted to check the bodies.
Oh.
I want to check the bodies of the guys outside as
You
well, but not yet.
You find a badly fitted suit of leather armor that looks damaged
Okay.
and probably not worth anything. The other one has a pretty, like a decently thick stick.
Right. I'll take the stick.
That's pretty much it. Okay, you now have a stick.
Cool.
So, as you're in this room right here, with the torch that you have, you can see along this wall, there's like a pretty big, it's about 15 to 20 feet across. It's like a large cloth, like a tapestry. It looks...
Before we do anything, can I look into the fire pit, make sure there's nothing in there, and then light it? So we can have some light.
Let me just do this for a sec. So you have a tapestry there. It has all kinds of different sort of intricate artworks of like soldiers and people that look a little bit like Al and Sturdent, kind of heavily armored, quite big weapons. They're all sort of depicted with like halos behind them, and they're fighting against all kind of different horrible looking monsters. There's skeletons and zombies and dragons and all kinds of different things. And they all seem to be fighting behind one particular heavily armored, huge looking guy. He's probably about twice the height of all of the rest of them. The sword that he carries looks almost too big, but for pretty much anyone else on there. But he's just carrying it in one hand, and he's sort of fighting one-on-one against. You can't exactly, you don't actually know what it is, but it's this big, hideous-looking creature with 3 heads. It looks, similar to a dragon or something, but you're not entirely sure what it is. Shut up, Kieran.
Everyone knows what has 3 heads. You can't like hit me with that.
It could be the dog from Harry Potter.
Cerebus.
Yes, Cerberus. You mean from Old School RuneScape, where they copied it from. On to the side of this tapestry, there's a little marble plaque on the wall. It has some carvings into it that are somewhat faded, but it looks somewhat a little bit like this.
That's the previous.
Yeah, it's the same one. I believe.
There are 2 piles of hay on either side of the room, which you can deduce is where these little spooky creatures are sleeping. There's a stockpile over here that's got some barrels and some crates. And Charlie, as you make your way up the stairs, this podium, you take a look inside this fire pit. There is another pile of hay like this one inside the pit itself. You get the feeling that one of these creatures has been using this as a bed and has been sleeping in there.
What's this underneath this barrel?
That's a crate underneath there.
Can we open the barrels?
You can. You go over. In some of them, there is some dried meats, some dried fruits like nuts or things like that. Most of it is rotten and inedible, but some of it is reasonably well preserved. It's probably not the best thing to eat, but it's edible enough, I guess. In one of the barrels, there's just a load of hay, like the piles on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing particularly of interest in them, though.
What's in the crate?
More of the same.
Okay.
Al goes and sits on this pile of hay. Look, I appreciate it. I'm not as young as I used to be, so perhaps we could sit for a short while, take a breather, and just gather our senses. See what comes next.
How
long are you thinking, Al?
Half an hour, maybe.
approximately?
Approximately. Just a short rest.
Yeah.
We can gather our senses, sit around, in this room. Just take a look around, get a feel for the place, and in case there's any more of those things that we're out on patrol or something, I might come back.
But Al, aren't you worried about your dog? He's not gonna say that.
Of course, but if they have this boss of theirs,
Yeah.
I'm in no fit state to fight him right now.
Okay.
I'm probably only working at about half capacity right now, approximately. On a scale of 1 to 20, I'm probably about an 11.
I understand.
I think there would be benefits to just catching our breath for a short while.
Alright.
Regain our resources, so to
I
speak.
agree with his proposal. What do you guys think we should do?
I agree.
I agree.
Cool. Take a short rest then.
So, everyone who would like to take a short rest, which would be anyone who's lost any hit points,
Yep, me.
or anyone who has something to gain from taking a short rest. For example, this person right here. Let's sit down on the hay. Barry and Charlie, are you going to take a rest, or are you going to do something else?
Can I sit in a barrel and just sit there and just contemplate?
That's
while
pretty
smoking?
gross, but sure.
No, in one of the hay barrels, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Still pretty gross. Charlie, since you're full hit points, you can choose to keep watch over at the door in case any more of the little nasties come back in from patrol, or you can do something else. Or you can take a rest as well. What would you like to do? Morgan.
I don't know. Any ideas, people?
Keeping watch is generally a good thing
Yeah,
to do.
keeping
anyway.
watch
I'll
for
keep
us
watch.
would be
Oh,
absolutely splendid.
oh,
Especially since there was one outside that we have no idea where it is.
yeah. I'll go there or here somewhere. I'd keep an eye on.
I would say maybe just towards the top of the stairs, like here.
Yeah.
You keep the torch with you so you can see in this tunnel, so it's not completely dark. But so Al and Sturden can roll the hit dice, get their health back.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, lovely.
Oh, wow! Look at that.
Plus 13, and by that I mean plus 5.
Whoops. Right, I did Al's hit points.
Go.
Awesome. So everyone is back to full hit points. Shivazel regains her spell slot, which is nice.
Mm.
And I think before we go any further, we will call it there. So hopefully Dylan will be around next week, so we can finish off this little section
Yep.
with him around. So yeah, that'll be it for this week. Thanks for watching, Dr. Pest, for about the 4 seconds that you were in the chat. I guarantee it. And anyone else who checked out the stream.
That was good.
Testing out streaming this week, so we'll take a look to see what we're thinking about whether we want to keep doing these streams or not. See what people think. And yeah, we'll catch up next week. Carry on from here. We'll start off with a little rundown of what happened this week as well. Get Dylan back here. Stop filming some stupid idiot stuff. Get him caught up on what happened this week. And we'll be good to go from there.
Cool.
So
Yay.
Alrighty.
Thank you everyone for coming watching. Good night,
Good night, everybody.
I guess.
It's the creepiest ending we've had to a video.
Yeah.